welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing, trying out, and giving a review of the Tesvor R5 cordless wet dry vacuum cleaner. This was gifted to me by Tesvor in exchange for my honest review. So in today's video, I'll be showing you how it works, how you can set it up, and I'll be telling you everything that I find that I like about the vacuum. I'll also be telling you about any features I don't like or any pitfalls that I find. In the end, I'll tell you what this vacuum retails for, and you can see if it might be a good fit for you. If you're new to my channel, be sure to hit the red subscribe button down below, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss a future upload. Alright, let's go ahead and see what we've got in this box. So this is a standing cordless vacuum that also has mopping functionality. So that's what it means when it says it's a wet dry vacuum. So now that I've taken everything out of the packaging, here's what actually comes in your box. You've got a stand for charging. The base of the vacuum comes together in one piece. Your clean water tank for the mopping feature. The vacuum handle is detached and will need to be installed. We've got a cord for charging. And then we've got our miscellaneous items, so our mop rolling head, a cleaning tool, and then a filter. But it is nice, they come in a handy little compartment that can store all of them. The only thing I'm actually gonna have to assemble is pretty much adding in the handle into the base of the vacuum. The other piece of assembly that you'll wanna do, just to set up your vacuum for the first time, is to take your clean water tank and install that. Now that the vacuum is put together, the next step is charging it for the first time. What I like about this charging stand is, as you can see, the vacuum is just going to sit in it on the ground. There's a plug on the back side that plugs the charger into the wall and then directly into the stand versus the vacuum. Why I like this is I don't have to drill into my wall in order to put in a hanging stand for the vacuum, which a lot of the other models require. What's really cool about this vacuum is it's got a display screen that will keep you updated. Here we're actually looking at it backwards because the display screen is designed for as you are vacuuming to be able to read it. Charging time is estimated at 240 minutes for a full charge. I'm back to check the vacuum and I can tell that it's done charging because it is at 100, clearly labeled on the display screen. So now it's ready to use. The next thing that I want to do is show you what the roller brush actually looks like. So I can take the brush cover off here. And this is what we've got. It's almost like a paint roller is the closest thing I can compare it to. It's really soft and fluffy. So that's what's sitting underneath, and then you can just snap the brush cover right back on in case you ever need to change that out. The one thing that this vacuum does that I have never experienced on a vacuum before other than a Roomba is it talks to you. I have a feeling this is because the rest of the vacuums that this company produces are robot vacuums, but I will turn it on and show you what I mean.
Automatic mode.
In my opinion, that is very loud. It is a really loud voice, but good news, right below the display screen, you can come down here and there is a mute button.
Turn off the voice.
So if you are vacuuming and you've got a child napping or somebody working in the next room and you don't want your vacuum yelling at you the whole time, I would definitely recommend turning off the voice there. One thing that this vacuum offers is it will pair with an app on your phone. I imagine this is so for all of their robot vacuums, you can connect it, sync it, control when you're gonna turn it to auto run, things like that. I honestly don't feel the need to connect a stick vacuum to an app. It's something I'm gonna be manually using the whole time, so it doesn't have the same benefit of a robot vacuum being connected to an app. So I'm gonna take the clean water tank and situate this back in the top of the vacuum. To give you a close-up of what this looks like with the water inside, so this is filled with clean water. It's going to use a smart sensor to figure out, is it picking up something dry and needs to vacuum it up? Is there a wet mess on the ground and it needs to mop it up? If it mops, it's going to mop the wood floor or whatever floor you're mopping, and then it's gonna dry it as it goes back over, which is really cool. And then as a reminder, any dirty water that it does pick up is just going to collect in this tank in the bottom of the vacuum. The first thing I did was try it out in dry cleaning mode, so you can vacuum with it dry or mop with it wet. It was pretty easy to use, it did a good job. It's a little bit heavy to push around, but it has really good maneuverability, and I found that process to work well. Next, I wanted to see how it did at just mopping up water on the ground. So I poured some water down and ran the mop over it. It did a really nice job, and it left the ground fairly dry after. The next two areas that I cleaned were on wet mopping mode. So I cleaned the tile in the foyer of my house. And as you can see here, it did a nice job mopping and it left behind that freshly mopped, slightly damp look on the tiles. I don't have carpet in my home, but I tried it out on my ruggable doormat to see if it would sensor and switch off of water or wet cleaning mode. It didn't turn off, but it still did a nice job vacuuming my doormat, and it gave it a little bit of a rinse as well. It was slightly damp after, not wet. In order to really test the functionality of the wet and dry vacuum at the same time, let's make a mess. So I'm gonna be using milk as my liquid. Then I've got a bag of shredded carrots. So I'm going to put the shredded carrots on top of a big spill of milk and see how it does at picking up and cleaning both at once. I think we've all seen the fancy photos that come with wet dry vacuums where they're picking up spaghetti and sauce that's fallen on the floor or a bowl of cereal that's spilled. So let's put that to the test and see how it does. Give you a close-up, that's what our lovely carrots and milk mess looks like. Let's take a look at the spot where that milk and carrot gross mess was. If you remember, it was in this square right next to my other little milk stain. It picked up all the milk. This is completely dry and mopped, freshly mopped, and there are no carrot remnants at all. Maybe you've got hardwood in your kitchen. Let's give it a try on hardwood to see how it stacks up to its performance on tile. All right, guys, it did it again. It worked even better, I think, on the hardwood than on the tile. Picked up all the milk, picked up all the carrot pieces, and I have nothing but a beautifully mopped hardwood floor in its place. Now that I had done a bit of cleaning around the house, I wanted to remove the dirty water bucket, which you can see me doing in the bottom of the vacuum here. On top is the filter that's going to catch anything that is collected during the vacuum only mode. So it caught some dust and hair from when I vacuumed in the living room. Next, you can take the dirty water that's in that bucket there, dump it out in the toilet so you can just flush it easily. And then I'd recommend rinsing out the two pieces that make up the dirty water tank. They go back together and you can store them back in the vacuum. In my opinion, one of the coolest features that this vacuum advertises is that it's self-cleaning. So now that I have dumped out the dirty water in the bottom bucket and just did a quick rinse of those, I've put that compartment back inside. And now what I'm gonna do, I've got it back on the charging dock. I'm going to hit the self-cleaning button, and then in 80 seconds, it advertises that it will self-clean, it'll clean them up so that you are cleaning your house next time with a clean, wet, dry vac, right? You don't have to worry about cleaning with dirty water or having a dirty mop head. The only requirements are that the charger is plugged in and it's got more than 30% on our power mode. As you can see, for all of my testing and cleaning I did, it only took it down to 87 out of 100, so definitely has good battery life to start. This is a self-cleaning button, so I'm going to press that.
Start self-cleaning. Start cleaning the foam brush. Start cleaning the pipeline. Intelligent protection. Cleaning completed. Charging start. Please clean the swap bucket to avoid unusual smell.
Just like the other features, the self-cleaning feature talks to you as I let you hear throughout the cycle.
Once it's done, you can remove the dirty water bucket just like we did after I was done cleaning. Take the filter out as nothing will be caught in there. And then you can empty, and I'll show you in here, it's got all the sudsy water that it used to clean the mop head and self-clean the vacuum, which is really cool. So just like when you are emptying water after cleaning, I'd recommend just taking any dirty water, dumping it out in the toilet, and then taking the pieces and rinsing them out in the sink. They go right back together and you can store them in the vacuum itself.
Thanks again to Tesvor for sending me their R5 cordless wet dry vacuum to try out and gifting me that in exchange for this review video. So I want to start with a couple of things that I really liked about this vacuum. One, it has a self-cleaning mode. This is the only vacuum that I've ever used that has this feature. It was fast, it was easy, and it was automatic. I love that as a germaphobe. It's going to keep my house really clean. Second thing, this vacuum was easy to operate. You just had an on button that you clicked once. If you've seen my other vacuum review videos, you know I hate when I have to hold down the button for the entire time that I'm using a vacuum. This one was a button once clicked on, once clicked off, and that was it. So I thought that was great. Lastly, it did a fantastic job of cleaning up wet and dry messes together. So when I tested it out with carrots and milk, it picked it up super well. So it definitely is good at what it is designed for. A couple of things that I didn't love or think were super necessary about the vacuum. One, if you need a wet dry vacuum, it's great. If you just need a vacuum or you just need a mop, I don't think it was so great at either one of those things on its own to warrant purchasing this machine for those uses. I think you could just get a different vacuum or a standard mop and be happy with those. Also, I thought that the app was unnecessary for this type of a vacuum. I think it works for their other robot vacuums, but I didn't feel the need to connect a standing vacuum that I was going to be pushing manually the whole time to an app on my phone to use those features. The Tesvor vacuum typically retails around $450, but you can often find it on sale closer to $300. If you're interested in checking it out, I'll be sure to link it in the description below. I don't make any commission off of sales from that link, purely just if you want to explore it and check it out on your own. If you have any questions about the vacuum, how it worked, let me know in the comments below and I'll be happy to answer those. Thanks so much for joining me as I reviewed the Tesvor R5 cordless wet dry vacuum, and I'll see you guys next time.